The Garden of Nightmare, a horrifying truth behind the story of Adam and Eve. Introduction. Since the dawn of time, humankind has shared stories that have become fixed in our collective consciousness. Passed down over generations, these tales have become as familiar as birth and death, reflecting our deepest fears and desires. Among the most well-known of these narratives is the story of Adam and Eve, and their exile from the Garden of Eden. Girded by religious doctrine, this tale is often told as a cautionary parable of sin and redemption. But what if we told you that hidden behind this allegorical myth lies a horror story fraught with bone-chilling terror? Our essay will endeavor to uncover the horrifying truth behind Adam and Eve, challenging the long-held notion that the story of our first human ancestors is devoid of any sinister undertones. The story, as we know it, the book of Genesis tells the story of Adam and Eve, the first man and woman placed on earth by God. Located in the idyllic Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve lived a perfect existence free from want, pain, and suffering. Nonetheless, their happiness was not to last. The cunning serpent, driven by jealousy and malice, deceived Eve into eating the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Upon tasting this forbidden fruit, both Adam and Eve gained awareness of sin and felt compelled to hide their nakedness. Due to their act of disobedience, God cast them out from paradise into a world of sorrow, toil, and hardship. A veil of allegories. While the familiar account is steeped in religious language and symbolism, the tale of Adam and Eve is laden with horror when its layers of allegory are unpeeled. Consider the serpent, the embodiment of evil in the story. Snakes have long been used as a source of terror in many cultures due to their venomous bite and sinuous movements. The serpent's malice is palpable, evident in its methodical and sly manipulation of Eve. The underlying implication here is that humanity's peaceful existence was shattered by evil forces lurking in the shadows, rendering the verdant Garden of Eden a far less idyllic place than we might imagine. The realm of nightmares. Let us delve deeper into the narrative and unveil the true horrors lurking within. In his book, Paradise Lost, John Milton describes the forbidden fruit as capable of inducing feverish dreams and hallucinations, suggesting that Adam and Eve's act of taking a bite from this illicit fruit launched them into a nightmarish world of confusion. Initially intoxicated, their euphoria soon transforms into horror as reality twisted into a hellish abyss. Their direct disobedience to God has led them to their own doom. The price of knowledge. Furthermore, the story of Adam and Eve epitomizes the devastating consequences that can befall humanity in our pursuit of knowledge. In their desperation to gain wisdom and intellect, they are duped and led astray by the serpent's deceitful promises. The experience of boundaries crossed and laws violated leaves a creeping sense of horror that works its way into the reader's mind. As Adam and Eve realize their mistake, panic and fear begin to set in, rendering them acutely conscious of their vulnerability. The feeling of fear, centered around an intense awareness of one's mortality, is a powerful emotion that strikes at the core of human experience. Fear, as a raw emotion, has a long-standing relationship with horror as a genre, and the tale of Adam and Eve offers a shining example of how humanity's fear of the unknown has been weaved into the story's fabric. The world outside the garden. The true horror of the story of Adam and Eve begins at the end, as they are cast out from paradise and forced to face a world filled with darkness, strife, and suffering. They must now navigate their new reality, made all the more terrifying by their knowledge that they have brought this fate upon themselves. The shadow of evil, embodied by the serpent, looms over their every action, haunting their nights and tormenting their days. Conclusion. By examining the underlying themes of fear, dread, and death that pervade the story of Adam and Eve, we awaken to a horrifying truth that buried beneath the veneer of religion lies a horror story of humanity's darkest fears. The themes present in this tale resonate deeply within our collective psyche, and as such, even without an overt emphasis on terror, it is clear that the story of Adam and Eve holds within it chilling horrors that ought not be dismissed or overlooked. The bountiful Garden of Eden may hold an enchanting appeal, yet lurking in the shadows are the unrelenting forces of evil and sin, serving as a stark reminder of the horror-laced truth that lies just beneath the surface.